If you're a Arnold fan, you're probably familiar with the epic complexity of Arnold and Helga's relationship. But in the Hey Arnold comic made by Eden Fries, their character progression is elevated in the most authentic and realistic way. Today, we're deep diving into why Arnold and Helga's journey is a natural progression from the original series and why Helga's internal battle is one of the most relatable and compelling parts of the comic. For starters, Arnold and Helga's natural character progression from childhood to adolescence. So let's start with Arnold because his growth here is not just believable, it's earned. In the original Hey Arnold series, Arnold was this thoughtful, caring kid who, let's face it, had no clue what was going on in terms of romantic relationships. He had a massive blind spot when it came to Helga, who was in love with him for years, but kept it hidden behind layers of sarcasm and aggression. But here's the thing, Arnold was always introspective, always processing things in his own quiet way. He's the kind of kid who understands the world and people around him, just not always himself when it comes to deeper emotions. In Eden Fry's comic, Arnold's emotional awareness takes center stage, and it's done in such a natural, believable way. He starts to see Helga differently, not just as a girl who teases him, but as someone he's beginning to understand and develop feelings. Eden Fries does right here is show Arnold's growing emotional intelligence. He's beginning to understand the complexities of Helga. This moment of recognition, this shift from seeing her as just a bully or a friend, but to something deeper and someone with deeper feelings isn't forced. Arnold's maturity has always been there, but now it's tested. He's on the cusp of realizing his love and attraction, which can be confusing and messy at his age. And Eden nails this perfectly, with Arnold struggling to navigate his feelings, unsure of how to handle them without hurting anyone else or causing awkwardness. Arnold struggles to navigate his feelings, and he's also unsure how to handle them while Helga is navigating hers. Helga's internal battle, strength versus vulnerability. Now let's talk about Helga, because honestly, she's the character that Eden Fries truly brings to light in the most complex and relatable way. In the show, we always knew that there was more to Helga than her tough, no nonsense exterior. Her love for Arnold was an anchor of her character, but she buried it so deeply beneath sarcasm and insults that it often felt like we were only scratching the surface of what she was truly feeling. But here's the brilliance of Ethan Fry's approach. Helga's internal battle between her strength and vulnerability is the heart of the comic. The fan comic shows us that Helga, despite her tough girl persona, is deeply conflicted. It showed this in the original show, but Eden Fries deep dives into it in the most beautiful way. She wants to be strong, but she also desperately craves connection with Arnold. And that's where the beauty of her character really comes to life in this new chapter of her story. In the comic, Helga is starting to question the identity she's built for herself, the tough, sarcastic girl who hides her feelings behind insults. She's entering adolescence, a time when kids are figuring out who they really are and what they really want. For Helga, that means dealing with her deeply buried feelings for Arnold. She knows she's been playing this mean, tough role, but inside, she's struggling. She wants to connect with Arnold, but she's terrified of being vulnerable. And here's the thing, this internal battle is so relatable for anyone going through adolescence, especially for those who spent years hiding their true feelings. Whether out of fear or pride, Eden doesn't shy away from showing how tough it is for Helga to break down the walls she's built around herself. Her emotional growth is messy, raw, and real. Helga's character isn't just letting go of her tough persona in one fell swoop. It's about unpacking it piece by piece, revealing that vulnerability doesn't come easily, and letting people in requires courage. She's trying to figure out if she can let Arnold in, if she can let herself be loved for who she really is without fear of rejection. This internal struggle is the driving force behind her character in the comic. and it's why so many fans relate to it on a deeper level. Why Arnold and Helga's growth feels so natural. So, why does this feel so natural? Why does Arnold's development and Helga's internal battle resonate with fans? First, Eden Fries doesn't rush the process. There's no sudden transformation. Arnold and Helga's growth is a slow burn, which is exactly how it happens in real life. We grow into our feelings. Another reason why it feels so real is the dialogue and interactions between Arnold and Helga. They feel so true to the original show. They aren't suddenly swooning over each other. Their relationship still has that awkwardness and tension that made their dynamic so compelling in the original. But in a fan comment, that tension becomes emotional depth. Arnold and Helga aren't weird frenemies anymore. They're having real, complicated conversations that reflect the reality of growing up and trying to navigate a relationship. What Eden captures beautifully here is the transition from childhood crush to first real inklings of love, from pretending to be tough to allowing oneself to feel love and vulnerability. It's a subtle shift, but it's honest. Now let's zoom in on Hilda's emotional conflict, because that's where the real magic happened in this comic. Helga spent years building this armor around her heart, which makes her tough. Helga spent years building this armor around her heart, but as she grows, she starts to understand that strength comes with vulnerability. The comic shows that Helga's internal battle isn't just about her feelings for Arnold, it's about her identity. She has spent so long pretending to be someone she's not, hiding her emotions under layers of sarcasm, anger, and pride. But as she matures, she starts to peel back those layers and confront the fear that has kept her from being truly herself. That's a process that takes time, struggle, and introspection, and Eden does it flawlessly. Helga's growth isn't immediate, and it's not easy. She's messy, conflicted, and sometimes downright scared of letting her guard down. But this makes her journey feel real, authentic, and relatable. And that vulnerability is not weakness. And that's something Helga has to learn for herself, slowly, gradually, but with every emotional moment she gets closer to letting go. The fifth point is why this comic is so brilliant and why it resonates. So, why does the Hey Arnold comic resonate with fans all over Instagram and YouTube? The creator understands the characters. She's not just expanding on the show, she's exploring the natural progression of Arnold and Helga as they get older. And so, if you haven't already, you should check out the comic. It truly nails the complexities of Arnold and Helga's relationship. It doesn't just pick up where the show left off, it builds on it and gives these characters emotional depth. Let me know in the comments what you think about Arnold and Helga's growth. Do you think this fan comic is a perfect natural progression to their characters? Don't forget to subscribe for more content.